Have you ever been to a doctor or a sleep doctor or some kind of professional to help you overcome insomnia and they were not able to help you? Maybe all they were able to offer you were anxiety medications or sleeping pills. Yep, I have been there too. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about why this happens, why they aren't often able to help you overcome insomnia, and what to do instead. Now, don't get me wrong, doctors are amazing and they are super important for our health. I am not against doctors or going to see doctors. I want to make sure you understand that. However, doctors don't always have all the answers. It's usually from a lack of understanding or outdated training that they've been to, or they simply don't have the actual training. A sleep doctor actually once told me that they don't receive training for insomnia. Like they aren't trained in CBTI or any different methods to help their patients overcome insomnia. They pretty much only know what we all know, like sleep hygiene, getting a consistent bedtime routine, consistent sleep schedule, sleeping in a cool, dark room, things like that. Or not drinking caffeine, like staying off electronics. We all know those basic things, and those are different tips that they may offer you. But other than that, they don't have any actual training on how to overcome insomnia, and I think that's a big misunderstanding that as patients that we don't realize when we go to a doctor or a sleep doctor. Pretty much all they have is sleeping pills or anxiety medications that they'll prescribe. Those are the things that they know how to use, they have the training in, and that's how they try to help you. Now, in order for them to be able to help with insomnia in other ways, they can receive outside training for CBTI, but a lot of them don't even have it anymore. It's not something that's offered in med school or in their training to become a sleep doctor. As I mentioned, they prescribe the medications. That's what they know how to do, and they mean well, and they're trying to help, and it does help people at times. But in the end, sleeping pills are not actually curing insomnia. They're not going after the root cause. Yes, sometimes they help. They help lower that hyperarousal so that you can sleep, but they aren't actually curing what's causing the hyperarousal in the first place. So we still have the underlying reason that's happening, the underlying reason why you have insomnia that's still happening. Even if you are sleeping a bit better, it's still lurking under the surface. And it's ready to show itself at any time. And that's usually when sleeping pills stop working. So does that mean things are hopeless for you and you're never going to be able to overcome insomnia? Well, I guess you could go to someone who's trained in CBTI, but again, CBTI doesn't always help everyone, and it doesn't completely go after the root cause. It does address it a little bit, but a lot of it is trying to control sleep and your hyperarousal levels instead of going after the root cause. Again, don't get me wrong. There are some amazing aspects of CBTI that I really like the educational part of it. I think that part is amazing, but I'm also not a big fan of all of it. You are not hopeless, I promise you. I overcame it after 30 years, and so can you. And let's talk about this in this video. So what do we need to do? We need to go after that root cause. Now, I know I talked about it with the sleeping pills. The sleeping pills aren't going after the root cause. What's actually causing the hyperarousal? Let's talk about it a little bit deeper. Even though I've talked about it in the last few videos, this chart that I'm about to show you really helps you to understand insomnia and how to overcome it and why nothing has worked. It's not because you're broken, it's just you're going after the wrong approach. So go ahead, look at this graph that's on the screen and go all the way to the bottom, which is the root cause of insomnia. Sleeping pills, as we talked about, goes all the way up to the hyperarousal level. Look at that hyperarousal level. That's where they try. Sleeping pills lower your hyperarousal level so that you can sleep. But they aren't going after the very root cause, which is causing the hyperarousal, which is the fear-based thoughts. We fear being awake. We're trying to escape with pills and supplements and all these different things, which send signals to your brain that there is danger. And then your brain activates the fight or flight system, your hyperarousal levels are up, and you can't sleep. This is how insomnia happens and how we stay stuck, because we constantly fear being awake. We dread the night. We're worried about it. We're fearful. And then we lose more sleep, and our fear increases even more, and our brain just thinks there's an actual physical threat or danger out there. Sleeping pills are not going down to those fear-based thoughts, and they're not going the opposite direction of trying to escape sleeplessness. So we're sending signals to the brain that there is still danger. Yes, sleeping pills can lower the hyperarousal sometimes so that people can sleep temporarily. They still have that root cause that causes the hyperarousal. There could be a day where there's more stress or something happening and the hyperarousal level is high enough that the sleeping pills aren't working, and then their fear increases, and then all of a sudden they have their insomnia back. And that's when they complain that sleeping pills don't work anymore. Wouldn't you rather go after what's causing the hyperarousal in the first place instead of just trying to lower the hyperarousal? Yeah, I would too. So that is the problem with the sleeping pills. Doctors are trying to help you because sleeping pills can help you get some sleep, but they aren't actually helping you overcome insomnia. We need to go after that fear. We need to reduce that fear. You can make a list of everything that you fear about insomnia, everything that you fear about being awake at night. It could be you're scared of how you're going to get through the day. You're scared you're going to get fired from your job or be a bad parent, or that a health condition is going to happen, a negative health condition. Just list them all out, create the biggest list possible, and then you can start to reframe them. You can reframe them to something that's a little bit more positive. You can do it in the moment as well. You don't have to make a list all at once, though it can be helpful in the beginning to help get a big reduction in that fear. But as you catch your thoughts, as you're going out throughout the day, you can start to notice these thoughts, start to catch them, start to be mindful of them, and reframe them in the moment. For example, you might be out to dinner with friends or family or whatever, your significant other, and then it's going a little later than expected, and you start going, oh my God, I hope I can sleep tonight. I hope this doesn't prevent me from sleeping. You can catch a thought and you can say to yourself, okay, it's just my brain trying to keep me safe. I understand, I'm safe. And then you can start to reframe it in a new way. You can be like, okay, being out later isn't actually what's keeping me awake at night. It's the fear-based thoughts. It's not the change in schedule. It's not being out later. It's not that your evening routine or your bedtime routine didn't happen exactly as you think it's supposed to happen. That's not what's going to cause trouble sleeping. It's the fear-based thought. Your brain thinking there's danger. It's the brain activating the fight or flight system, and your hyperarousal levels up, keeping you awake. It's in that moment worried that you're not going to be able to sleep tonight because you're still out. You're not home doing your bedtime or evening routine. It's that fear and that worry and the stress that's raising the hyperarousal levels that later affect your night. You could absolutely go out late, come home an hour before bed, get ready for bed, and then still get sleep. Maybe you need a bit of a wind down, but it's not going to have a huge effect on your sleep. And I have really experienced this. When I had insomnia, I used to have a printed out schedule of exact times that I had to do things for my bedtime routine. This time the lights have to go off. This time I have to take this pill. This time I have to do this. Like this regimented schedule that I couldn't stray from. Otherwise, I wouldn't sleep. At least I used to think that. So if I was out late and my bedtime routine was supposed to be starting, I would start to stress out. I would start to get anxious. Like my whole night is ruined because I stayed up later than usual. And then, of course, I didn't sleep. I thought it was because I didn't follow my routine perfectly, and that's why I didn't sleep. I didn't realize it was the fear. Now, 30 years later, I am sleeping well, and I have a general bedtime routine, but it has never consistent all the time. There are times when I'm out late. There are times when I get back just before I'm supposed to be asleep. I don't follow the exact routine every day. I don't have the perfect bedtime routine. I'm on electronics until late and I still sleep. That is so amazing to me because I really thought everything had to be perfect, had to follow the routine perfectly. I couldn't stay out late. I couldn't go out with friends, couldn't do things because it would mess up my routine. It wasn't about the routine. It's about the fear and the worry and trying to escape sleeplessness that is causing myself to be awake. It's worrying, oh my God, I'm out with friends. I'm going to be getting home later. I'm supposed to start my routine in 30 minutes. And everything has to happen at the perfect time. It's all that stress and that pressure and that worry and that fear that is causing me to not sleep during the night. Another little bonus tip that I want to add in, it's just a random little one that can be really helpful as you go along this journey, is to start adding meditation into your life. Now, I don't mean meditation to help you sleep meditations, or when you're trying to go to sleep. I am talking about just having the daily habit or a consistent habit of doing meditation every day. And the benefits from meditation can help you learn to reduce your fear. It can help you learn to stop escaping sleeplessness, the things that are telling your brain that there's danger. It can help you reduce those. And the way it does this is by bringing you into the moment. If you're in the moment, like what's happening now, and not focused on the future or the past, you're not feeling fear. Yes, you could fear something in the moment, fear a dog in front of me because I'm scared of dogs, big dogs, but you can't fear you're not going to sleep at night. If you're fearing that you're not going to sleep tonight, then you are thinking about the future. Something that isn't even happening, a hypothetical situation that you don't know if it's really going to happen. Practicing meditation helps you learn to bring yourself back in the moment so you're not feeling that fear or that worry. You don't have to go into a meditation every time you're noticing the fear, but fear teaches that skill of coming back. And there are all sorts of meditations out there that you can try. You can try apps, you can try YouTube videos, you can go do a course like Transcendental Meditation, which isn't cheap, but it teaches you a powerful meditation technique. But you don't need to spend money. There's YouTube videos, there's free apps. There are all sorts of resources out there to learn how to meditate. You can practice focusing on your breath. You don't even need a nap or a meditation or guided meditation. You can just close your eyes, focus on your breath going in and out, and just focus on the breath. That's it. If you have a thought, that's okay, because you're going to have thoughts. You won't be able to get rid of all your thoughts. Not even the best meditators can. You notice a thought, and then you bring yourself back into the moment and focus on your breath. And you see that, bring yourself back in the moment, you learn that skill, you strengthen that skill. So when you're going through the day, instead of having that fear, you can bring yourself back. By the way, if you want more help from me and more guidance to go after the root cause, then check out my free Sleep Makeover community. There are lots of free resources in there for you. There's a classroom tab inside of the community where there are lessons, there are videos, there are programs, there's meditations and tools and worksheets and so many things to help you learn to go after the root cause and move you in a step-by-step approach to overcome insomnia once and for all. To check it out, click the link in my description box. It is absolutely free to join and to watch all those resources and to enjoy them. Now, if you want to hear more about my journey, my 30-year journey to overcome insomnia and how I overcame it, check out this video I did where I talk about how I worked with all these different doctors and everything that I tried, and I tell you the better approach. Some more tips that I didn't even talk about here. So check out the video, or you might like the other video above it. So that's it for today's video, and I will see you in the next one.